You didn't stumble onto this message by accident. You were drawn here. Something in your spirit knows it, even if your mind is still catching up. This is divine timing, not coincidence, because right now, in this exact moment, everything is lining up. The breakthrough you've been sensing, the shift you've been feeling in your gut, it's real, and it's closer than you think. You've been faithful in the shadows. You've prayed when no one clapped. You've pressed forward when quitting would have been easier. And now is when it turns. This is the moment where heaven leans in and says, it's time. So before we go any further, take a breath, center yourself, and lean all the way in, because what's about to be released in your life isn't small. It's not partial. It's not delayed. It's the fullness of everything God has been preparing for you behind the scenes. If this message is reaching you, it's because you're ready. Not perfect, not fully figured out, but positioned. And now that the pieces are in place, it's your time to rise. Not just to be blessed, but to be transformed. You are not here to repeat old cycles. You are here to break them. You are not here to settle. You are here to expand. You are not average. You are anointed. So lean in, engage. Don't just watch, receive. Because what's coming isn't just meant to inspire you. It's meant to activate you. Let's step into it together. The final step of your transformation begins now. You are not here by accident. If you feel the pull, the knowing deep inside that you are chosen, this is your moment. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to unlock deeper insights, exclusive content, and a path that aligns with your divine purpose. This isn't just a contribution, it's a declaration, a step toward who you were meant to be. Answer the call, walk with us, and step fully into your destiny. Your journey begins now. There comes a point where hesitation becomes disobedience. And this is that moment. You've been sensing something in your spirit, a pull, a pressure, a stirring that refuses to be ignored. That isn't restlessness, it's revelation. You're not just standing at a turning point. You're standing in the middle of a divine instruction that demands a response. The air around you isn't just heavy, it's charged with assignment. This isn't just another opportunity. This is a God-ordained pivot, one that doesn't repeat. You've entered the zone where everything begins to shift. Heaven has already spoken. The coordinates are locked. The question is, will you move when the gate opens? This moment isn't about being ready in your mind. It's about being willing in your spirit. You may not have all the answers, but you've got the signal. The invisible is aligning. The pathway is being cleared, and the push you feel in your chest is heaven's way of saying, go now. Everything you've walked through has been leading to this. Every battle, every quiet breakthrough, every moment where you stayed faithful when quitting was easier. It's all built to support what's unfolding now. You're not being rushed. You're being released. You're not being pushed out of comfort. You're being called into purpose. And it's happening fast. The transition won't always come with warning. The shift won't always come with permission. This isn't the time to consult people who didn't carry your cross or walk your path. Some of the ones you seek advice from can't speak into your next level. They weren't there in your last one. The alignment is now. The invitation is live. Doors are swinging open that you didn't knock on. Rooms are being prepared that you never requested. And the only thing that can delay what's meant for you is your refusal to move. So what will you do when the atmosphere clears, when the pressure lifts, when the promise steps into view? Will you wait for perfect conditions, or will you trust the pulse in your spirit that says, this is the hour? Your future is responding to your obedience, not your fear. Your next level isn't waiting on a sign. It's waiting on your yes. This is not about scrambling to earn something. This is about aligning with what's already set in motion. The divine current is active. You don't need to push. You need to step in. Your action is the access point. Every time you move in faith, you make space for the miraculous. And make no mistake, what's coming is not small. You're not being elevated just for your benefit. You're being positioned to unlock breakthrough for others. The overflow isn't for applause, it's for impact. So let this moment mark you. Let it be the page where everything turns. Not because it's convenient, but because it's consecrated. The clock of heaven isn't just ticking, it's thundering your name. Move swiftly, move surely, don't delay. The shift has already started, and this time, it includes you. You've been carrying weight you were never meant to hold forever. The tension you feel in your spirit right now isn't anxiety, it's activation. This isn't just another chapter. This is the moment when things turn. Not by force, not by striving, but by divine release. The shift doesn't wait until conditions are perfect. It begins the moment you decide to let go of what no longer fits the future you're being called into. This is the place where you trade survival mode for supernatural flow. You don't need to rehearse what's next. You need to respond to it. But in order to receive what's on its way, your hands, your heart, your mind must be open. The spiritual exchange that's happening requires room. Heaven doesn't deposit new instructions in a space already crowded by fear, by indecision, by old mindsets. The flow has already begun. The access point is readiness, not perfection. You don't need every detail. You need willingness. The timeline of heaven isn't waiting on your credentials. It's waiting on your clearing. Can you make space in your life, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, for what's been divinely appointed to find you? To receive this shift, there must be a release. Not everything can come with you. Some beliefs, some habits, some attachments, they have to fall away. They were good for the last season, but they're too heavy for where you're going. Letting go isn't losing. It's making room. And when you begin to release, you'll notice clarity arrive. Thoughts will sharpen. Peace will return. Vision will expand. The fog isn't permanent. It's a sign that you've outgrown your current lens. New insight requires new space. And that's exactly what you're preparing for. A download from heaven that requires your full attention. You'll hear it in the quiet. You'll feel it in your core. Divine instruction often whispers, not because it's uncertain, but because it's sacred. And sacred things don't scream. They call to the part of you that's still, surrendered, and listening. Don't let urgency trick you into noise. Peace is the power move now. That internal stillness isn't passivity, it's positioning. It's the signal that you're tuned in to the right frequency. It's where instructions come through clearly. It's where miracles unfold without fanfare. This moment doesn't require more effort. It requires more trust, more openness, more willingness to make space for something greater than what's familiar. You don't need to create the wave. You just need to ride it. So clear the distractions. Lay down the excuses. Release what weighs your spirit down. This is not about emptying for emptiness's sake. It's about being ready to receive. What's coming to you is tailor-made. It's timely, and it's tied to your surrender. God isn't waiting for a perfect version of you. He's waiting for a present version of you. The transfer is happening. Not next week, not someday, but now. And it begins the moment you make space. So breathe deep, step back, clear out what clutters your peace, and watch what happens when heaven fills what you've finally made room to hold. There are moments in your journey where it becomes clear. Heaven has moved on your behalf, not in theory, not in metaphor, but in reality. The path you've walked, the battles you've endured, the obedience you've shown, it's all brought you here, to a threshold where divine provision meets divine purpose. You're not just being blessed, you're being entrusted. The release that's coming your way isn't random. It's been building in the unseen, stored up for the right moment. And now, that moment is here. What you're about to step into isn't the kind of success that fades. It's the kind that roots, that multiplies, that lasts. This is divine resource, not just to sustain you, but to equip you. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a donation of $100 or more, you can actively participate in His divine mission and contribute to His greater plan. Every offering you make reflects the boundless generosity of God, and I trust it will return to you abundantly, far exceeding your hopes. Always remember, His protection and blessing accompany your every step and every act of giving. You are a vital part of His sacred design. You are strong and radiant, steadfast like His mighty rock. Experience God's miracles. Feel the rewards of your generosity deep within your soul, and shine your light with boldness and faith. May you be richly blessed, and may the light of the Lord continually guide your journey. There's a kind of wealth that doesn't just fill hands, it fills hearts, it fills gaps, it repairs what struggle stole. What's being placed in your life now carries legacy. It's not about sudden riches, it's about strategic placement. This breakthrough is tailored, it's specific, and it's an answer not only to what you've prayed, but to what you've carried. You've poured out without spotlight, given when it cost you, believed when nothing around you gave a reason to, and heaven noticed. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine orchestration, a holy setup to deliver something that will outlive you. What's flowing in now will not just bless your house, it will ripple through others. This is increase with assignment, it's favor with function. Yes, your needs are being met. Yes, your situation is turning. But more than that, you're being positioned as a distributor of provision, not just a recipient of it. The financial blockages that held you back are breaking apart. The closed channels are being cleared. And what once felt like financial drought now becomes a stream that does not run dry. The work you've put in begins to multiply. Not by grind, but by grace. Not by hustle, but by alignment. And no, this is not about indulgence. This is about impact. You are called to be a conduit, a vessel that carries breakthrough into dry places. What you receive is not to hoard, it's to release, it's to build, it's to serve. You are not just being blessed, you are becoming a blessing. This increase will challenge your old identity. The part of you that only knew lack, that only expected limitation, that only knew survival, must now give way to the part of you that walks in overflow without apology. The humility that got you here doesn't disqualify your abundance, it justifies it, because you know what it took, and you won't waste it. So clear the space, open your hands, expand your vision. God is not just changing your season, He's expanding your capacity. You're not stepping into a windfall, you're stepping into a mantle. You're not just receiving, you're being activated. And from this point forward, you will look back and see, this was the day the floodgates opened. Not just for your finances, but for your future. Welcome it, steward it, and walk in it fully. The transfer has begun. You've come to a place where heaven isn't just responding to your prayers, it's infusing your very identity. This next phase is more than provision, more than elevation. It's transformation at the core. You are not just being blessed, you are being reshaped to embody what you've been seeking. There is a sacred exchange happening now, a download of divine substance being deposited directly into your spirit. Not just peace for the moment, but patience that anchors. Not just joy that flickers, but love that rebuilds. You're not simply learning these virtues, you're becoming them. These are not traits you're trying to possess. They are becoming part of your design. This infusion is a reward for the posture you held when the weight felt unbearable. You didn't waver, you didn't run. And now, heaven is answering by placing in you the qualities that reflect its very nature. These traits are not just for your benefit, they are for every life that intersects with yours. You become a mirror of something holy, even in ordinary moments. People will look at you and wonder what changed. It's not something you put on, it's something you carry. Your presence begins to shift rooms, not because of charisma, but because of divine character. You don't chase connections. Your essence begins to draw what's meant for you. And here's what makes it even more powerful. As these qualities fill you, they activate something greater. They unlock the next level of your purpose. This isn't just about becoming a better version of yourself. It's about being equipped to handle the weight of what's next. You're stepping into creative authority, real spiritual authorship, the power to speak and see, the authority to declare and watch things align. You are no longer a spectator of God's plan. You are a collaborator, a vessel that creates in rhythm with divine instruction. You'll begin to notice your words carry weight, your thoughts sharpen with insight, your prayers shift atmospheres. Why? Because you're now operating in alignment with the source. Your heart is tuned, your mind is ready, your hands are open. This isn't about manifesting for status. This is about building from spirit. The visions in your heart were not fantasies, they were blueprints. And now you've been given the green light to begin forming them in the natural. To walk in this, you must continue clearing the layers that once limited you. Old mindsets, past pain, outdated definitions of success. They have no place in this rise. This is not about earning anything. This is about receiving and reflecting what has been predestined for you to carry. And as you rise, understand, this ascent is deliberate. It's not a random elevation. It's a strategic lift. Every step, every delay, every lesson was sculpting you to rise with substance, not just stature. You're not being promoted for appearance. You're being positioned for impact. You'll no longer be bound by age, history, or perceived lack. The limits are lifting because the time is right. And not just right for the world to see you, but right for you to become everything you were born to be. This isn't a season of surface victories. It's a complete realignment of your soul with heaven's design. You're stepping into a life that can hold what you were once afraid to even dream about. This is the third transfer, not to your hand, but to your being. Walk in it, because you've been chosen to carry it. You've endured long enough. The weight you've carried, the prayers you whispered when no one was watching, the silent strength you held through seasons of drought, none of it has gone unnoticed. This is not the hour of theory. This is the hour of transfer. What was once locked away for a later time is now being placed in your hands. The shift is not coming. The shift is here. What is being poured into your life now goes beyond any material gain. It's the unfolding of heaven's design, wrapped in opportunities, relationships, wholeness, clarity, and yes, provision. The gates are no longer closed. They're wide open, and the flow is direct. The portion that's always had your name on it has been released. Not delayed, not postponed, delivered. But understand this. What arrives is not just for celebration. It's for assignment. You're not being filled to store up. You're being resourced to release. What flows through you will impact more than your household. It will mark generations. It will fund visions. It will heal communities. You're not just receiving a blessing. You're becoming the blueprint of it. And now, something deeper unlocks, a sacred unveiling of what's been buried inside you all along. Qualities that didn't come from books or mentors, but from the mind of God Himself. Wisdom that cuts through confusion, grace that disarms chaos, courage that silences fear. These are not surface-level traits. These are impartations, strategic deposits into your DNA, tailor-fit for your calling. You'll begin to speak and watch atmospheres adjust. You'll walk into rooms and shift energy without trying, not because of your charisma, but because of what's now active inside you. The gifts have always been there. This is the moment of their activation. They rise now, not for your glory, but for divine fulfillment. And while all this is happening, don't miss the speed of the shift. This isn't a gradual unfolding. This is rapid, heaven-sent acceleration. You'll blink and be on the other side of a breakthrough. You'll speak, and the thing you asked for will appear. It won't make sense to others, and it doesn't have to. You're moving on. Divine time now. That's why alignment is critical. The gates are moving fast. You don't have time for hesitation, delay, or doubt. If you've been waiting on a sign, this is it. The momentum has already begun, and your yes is the key that locks you in. You're not scrambling anymore. You're stepping. You're not figuring it out. You're flowing. This is heaven's pace, and it's on your side. You're not catching up. You're catching fire. And every step you take from here forward is a confirmation of what's already been written in your favor. So brace yourself for the overflow. Prepare your space. Ready your spirit. Because what's coming through is too vast to be contained. The floodgates of favor are responding to your endurance. The tide of transformation is carrying you into new territory. And this isn't just about you. You've been trusted with what others will one day depend on. Your breakthrough is someone else's roadmap. Your inheritance is someone else's rescue. And your now is the answer to a generation's when. Step forward. The release has begun. You've spent years walking roads that didn't make sense to others, roads that stretched your faith, challenged your endurance, and demanded more than you thought you had. But now, something sacred is happening. A rise is unfolding that breaks every earthly expectation. It doesn't follow natural law. It's not backed by human logic. It's rooted in divine endorsement. This isn't a promotion. It's a placement. You're being positioned in places no resume could reach because God Himself is orchestrating the rise. You may not have titles or the backing of big names, but heaven has already stamped your name with favor. You don't need clout, you carry calling. And what's coming doesn't just touch your life, it redefines your bloodline. This elevation is generational. It's not just for your success, it's for legacy, for lineage, for the unseen faces who will walk freer because you dared to rise. This next phase won't be won by effort alone, but by alignment. Heaven is synchronizing the pieces. Conversations are shifting. Doors are clicking open. The timing isn't random. It's prophetic. You're standing under a divine convergence, where invisible threads pull everything into place. People arrive, purpose sharpens, provision flows, all at once, all on time. There's no need to hustle for what's being handed. When alignment strikes, what once felt forced now flows. What was hard now fits. You're not forcing your way in. You're walking through what's already been prepared. And while it seems sudden on the surface, it's been building underneath. Your life is like a seed that's been breaking beneath the soil, unseen by the world, but known by the Creator. And now, you're about to emerge, fully formed, deeply rooted, ready. But make no mistake, this rise isn't without warfare. The unseen realm is active. Resistance has tried to confuse you, delay you, and wear you out. But every blow has built you. Every hit has sharpened your sight. What the enemy thought would break you has only birthed boldness. You're not just surviving the pressure, you're rising because of it. And now, the unseen becomes seen. What was working behind the scenes steps into the spotlight. Freedom overtakes the fight. Chains fall that you didn't even know were wrapped around you. You've outgrown the prison. Now, you walk into promise. Dear brothers and sisters, may the peace of God fill your hearts today. I come to remind you of a profound truth. Our lives are firmly established in God's divine purpose, untouched by the fleeting worries of this world. As Scripture tells us, give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Like the mighty oak whose roots are planted deep in rich soil, our foundation is anchored in God's eternal truth. Every move we make, every stand we take, is upheld by His enduring strength. Today, you have the opportunity to participate in this divine blessing. By clicking the Super Thank You button and offering a gift of $50, you will sow into a harvest that will return to you many times over in God's abundant grace. This is a liberation season. Not just external release, but internal authority. No more questioning your place. No more shrinking your light. You are not disqualified by what you lack. You are qualified by what you carry. So go ahead and lift your eyes. This moment is not a coincidence. It's divine precision. Everything is moving. Angels are active. Paths are opening. This is what it looks like when purpose wakes up and power follows. Step forward. You're not chasing the promise. You are the fulfillment. You've spent far too long adjusting your shine to keep others comfortable, carrying a power within you while being told to keep it quiet. But that season is over. The divine hand that crafted you never intended for you to live boxed in by fear, shame, or the opinions of those who couldn't see your full reflection. The lid is off, the mask is off, and now you are fully on. You are stepping into a moment where the truest version of you comes alive. Not the version shaped by survival, but the one formed in sacred fire. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to wait for applause. You walk in rooms now as someone who has been sent, not to blend in, but to shift atmospheres, to disrupt mediocrity, to bring light. Your past may have tried to convince you that you were too much, too bold, too passionate, too different. But God was shaping you to be set apart, not scaled down. Now that you've been refined, the weight of your anointing becomes unmistakable. You don't apologize for it anymore. You wear it as confirmation. There's a new roar rising in your voice, a new fire in your steps. This isn't self-help. This is spiritual recognition. You're not just waking up. You're being activated. Heaven has already confirmed what earth tried to delay. And now, what you carry cannot stay silent. Your words hold weight. Your thoughts shape paths. What you believe, you begin to build. Creation doesn't wait for perfection. It responds to authority. And you have it. You are not the storm's victim. You are the voice that stills it. This moment is not about wishing. It's about walking, moving in your authority, declaring what has already been written, and watching it rise from the invisible into the seen. You don't need permission anymore. You have a green light, flashing, divine, and undeniable. The delays that used to frustrate you now make sense. You had to be prepared, not just for what was coming to you, but for what was about to come through you. You've battled, you've waited, you've endured, and now it's time to flourish. Not just in spirit, but in tangible ways. You're not just stepping into opportunity, you're stepping into overflow. Not just provision, but position. Not just breakthrough, but establishment.